There is no greater burden than a life unlived, and no greater regret than knowing you were the only thing standing in your way. Most people will never taste the fullness of who they could have become, not because they weren't talented, not because they weren't given chances, but because they chose comfort over growth, distraction over direction, pleasure over purpose. The truth is, every day you are becoming something, and every choice is a silent vote for the person you will one day meet in the mirror. So the question is not whether you are changing, you are. The question is, are you changing on purpose? It's easy to chase goals, but what about chasing values? What about becoming the kind of person who deserves the life they're dreaming of? Everyone wants the reward, but very few are willing to become the person worthy of it. See, success doesn't go to the lucky, it goes to the ready. And readiness isn't built in moments of comfort, it's forged in seasons of intentional sacrifice. There's a price for becoming someone worth following, and that price is paid in private. Early mornings when no one's watching, hard choices when no one applauds, daily disciplines that don't go viral, but change your life. This is not about trying harder, it's about building better systems. Not about motivation, but philosophy. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. Jim Rohn once said, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job." Why? Because you are the foundation. You are the system. If you grow, everything around you grows. If you stagnate, everything around you begins to crack. Most people work harder on their image than they do on their identity. Harder on their bank account than their character. Harder on looking successful than being solid. But the harvest always reveals the seed, and time always exposes what discipline tried to hide. You cannot fake self-respect. You cannot shortcut real power. You either pay the price in discipline or you pay it later in regret. Growth hurts, but so does staying the same. The pain is inevitable, but the outcome, that's your choice. You can stay where it's safe, where no one challenges you, where no one asks you to rise. And you'll wake up one day surrounded by comfort, but haunted by potential. Or you can step forward, into discomfort, into the unknown, and earn the kind of pride that no one can hand you. Life is not about avoiding storms. It's about learning to build yourself into the kind of person who can walk through them and keep walking. Don't pray for it to be easier. Build yourself to be wiser. Don't beg for fewer problems. Strengthen the mindset that knows how to solve them. The strongest people you know, they're not the lucky ones. They're the ones who kept showing up when it stopped being fun. They're the ones who did the right thing when it wasn't convenient. They're the ones who understood that consistency is more powerful than inspiration. Your life is not built in grand moments. It's built in the quiet repetition of the right habits. And those habits, they either form chains or wings. The future does not respond to your wishes. It responds to your daily behavior. What are you feeding your mind? What are you tolerating? Who are you becoming when no one's looking? Because that is the person who will run your life in 6 months. Not the person you hope to be, but the one you're practicing to become right now. Your discipline is either protecting your future or slowly destroying it. There is no middle ground. Everyone wants the end result, but few are willing to go through the becoming. They want confidence without the courage to fail. They want wealth without the patience to delay pleasure. They want leadership without the character to carry the weight. But the real you, the one you haven't met yet, he or she is only found through repetition, rebuilding, and refining. And yes, it takes time, but time passes anyway. The question is, what are you doing with it? You can read every book, take every course, watch every video. But if you don't change the way you live, nothing will change the way you feel. Because real transformation, it doesn't happen in your head. It happens in your calendar, in your habits, in the uncomfortable decisions you're willing to make when nobody else cares if you show up. This is not about being extreme. It's about being intentional. It's about deciding that your future deserves more than the version of you that keeps hitting snooze. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll die waiting. Progress is messy, growth is awkward, and no one claps for you in the beginning. But you have to go anyway. You have to act your way into confidence, discipline your way into power, and build your way into becoming. No one is coming to save you, and that's the greatest gift life will ever give you, because it means your future is yours to build. You don't need more time. You need more clarity. You don't need a better environment. You need better boundaries. You are not overwhelmed. You are overcommitted to the wrong things. Every day, life asks you, are you serious or are you just interested? Because interest says, I want to be fit. Discipline says, I train when I don't feel like it. Interest says, I want to build wealth. Discipline says, I invest before I spend. Interest says, I want to change. Discipline says, I do the work even when no one's watching. And eventually, the world stops listening to what you say you want and starts responding to who you are. You want to lead? Then become someone who leads themselves. You want respect? Earn it from your own reflection first. You want a better life? Then raise your standards and refuse to lower them for anyone. Because people don't get what they wish for. They get what they tolerate. And when you stop tolerating your own mediocrity, that's the moment everything begins to shift. So decide, right here, right now, that you're done outsourcing your power, that you're done blaming, stalling, hoping, and hiding, that from this day forward, you are the one who builds the foundation, that you will become someone who inspires yourself, someone who earns their own respect, someone who can look in the mirror and say, I did not waste the pain. I did not avoid the work. I became someone worth following. And that is the price of becoming unstoppable.